At the end of the day, whatever it takes to win, you gotta do that. Win, that might be diving on the floor. That might be not touching the ball the whole game.
Never thought I'd be able to throw a bounce pass lob to LeBron James in the game. So things like that just keeps you young, keep you enjoying the game. It's just fun.
There is something incredibly strange going on with the Los Angeles Lakers, and a lot of it has to do with their potential decision on their roster that has to be made within the next couple of weeks. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. We're about 15,000 subscribers away from 900,000 subscribers, so if you enjoy the content, maybe double check to see if you're subscribed to help us out. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. We made $1,100 off of a $20 entry on Prize Picks. And it wasn't just me, it was everyone that followed these picks on my Instagram story. And the best feeling is the amount of people that made money as a result of this. I mean, bam, bam, bam. Bam! My DMs were flooded, so the best part for me was seeing you guys make money as well. But we're not done yet. If you haven't signed up for Prize Picks, use my promo code microphone to double your deposit up until $100 on Prize Picks. And I give away my picks on a daily basis for free on my Instagram story and now my Snapchat story. We're having so much fun doing this. I'm so happy that I made you guys some money. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Last year, the Los Angeles Lakers did something that I really thought was virtually impossible. And it's a roster transaction that I think could be one of the top 5 greatest midseason trades in NBA history, at least in the terms of completely altering the trajectory of a basketball team. The trade that the Lakers made during the trade deadline last year was very similar to me as when the Los Angeles Lakers swung that crazy, very one-sided trade, at least at the time, for Pau Gasol in the middle of the season. You see, the Lakers had no playoff aspirations at all whatsoever. They were in salary cap hell as a result of having Russell Westbrook on the team. Nothing against Russell Westbrook, but having Russell Westbrook on a supermax contract alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis meant that the Lakers were more likely contenders for the NBA draft lottery than they were for an NBA playoff appearance. And no team wanted Russell Westbrook, so it seemed like the only way the Lakers could get out of this was if they gave up one of their future first-round picks. Now that would end up happening, but the Lakers got significant protections here. The Lakers would trade Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz and reacquire D'Angelo Russell from the Minnesota Timberwolves in a 3-team trade. That was absolute wizardry. They would also get Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt. Minnesota would get Mike Conley Jr. and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. The Lakers sent out Juan Toscano Anderson, Damian Jones, and a top 4 protected 2027 first-round pick. The Lakers got depth, but they also got a point guard that could space the floor, and an individual that became a Lakers fan favorite. I mean, I have bro's rookie jersey, for crying out loud. This, combined with the Rui Hachimura trade, was so spectacular that the Lakers were able to make a deep run to the Western Conference Finals. And that's where things would really hit the fan. D'Angelo Russell got absolutely exposed in the Western Conference Finals. All of a sudden, you saw Laker fans turning against the guy. And although the Los Angeles Lakers had an incredible offseason, bringing in Gabe Vincent, signing shooting in the form of Taurean Prince, extending D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura, those didn't necessarily translate to wins for the Los Angeles Lakers. As a matter of fact, as it stands, the Lakers are currently sitting at 500, 22-22. And a lot of Laker fans are anxious to try to point the blame finger as to why this is happening. There are individuals that believe the reason why the Lakers are performing so horribly is because Darvin Ham likes to change the lineup almost every single night. All right, that's an exaggeration, but he's frequently changed the lineups to situations that just didn't make sense at all whatsoever. And this has brought Laker fans to one of 2 scenarios in order to improve the roster. You either fire Darvin Ham in the middle of the season, which they won't. Jeannie Buss already stated that she is endorsing Darvin Ham, or you trade D'Angelo Russell or some other assets in order to get yourself a player that could potentially improve the roster. In this case, the leading contender is DeJounte Murray. We've talked about DeJounte Murray plenty of times on this channel before. He's on a very good contract for his skill set. He's relatively young. He possesses two-way potential, but he's not really showing it much on the Atlanta Hawks but he was an incredible defensive player on the San Antonio Spurs, and he's currently shooting 38% from three. Now, currently, Shams Charania has this to say about the Los Angeles Lakers' current plans at the trade deadline.
The Lakers are doing their due diligence. DeJounte Murray, Bruce Brown Jr., who just got traded to the Raptors, Tyus Jones, Terry Rozier. I'm told those are names to keep an eye on. The Lakers and Hawks did have some pretty extensive conversations about a DeJounte Murray trade a couple of weeks ago. It was centered around D'Angelo Russell, a 2029 first-round draft pick, and a pick swap, I'm told. The holdup was that Atlanta wanted to find a third team for D'Angelo Russell. He's got a player option for next season. They want to find a spot where they might be able to get an expiring contract back. I would expect the sides to circle back as we get closer to the February trade deadline. But listen, D'Angelo Russell, the last 5 games, I think we need to give him credit the way he's playing. 27 points a night, 6 assists per game, about 5 threes per game as well. His splits are unbelievable, 56% from the field over the last 5 games. He's gotten a lot, I think, of flack over the last month or so. He's been in and out of the starting lineup. He's back in the starting lineup now, and so he's played at a really high level for the Lakers the last 5 games.
Now, you might be wondering why this is so significant. Well, at this point, we're used to this. Being on the Los Angeles Lakers during the LeBron James era comes with this territory, where there is the prospect that LeBron will trade you. I mean, you remember February of 2019 and LeBron James's first year on this roster? He just joined a team with Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Kyle Kuzma. The Lakers had a tremendous amount of depth, but they weren't able to get it to work around LeBron James. There were rumors about Anthony Davis potentially getting traded to the Lakers. And during LeBron James's very first year around the trade deadline, he quite literally tweeted, "Man, where's Shams, Woj, Hayes, or McMenamin at?" Meaning, we want a Woj bomb right now. Where's this trade at? It's crazy. A few weeks later, we heard LeBron will trade you chance at the free throw line.
They averaged 16 points last year in year 2. He's at 17.2, and his last 5, he's averaging 23 points per game with all of the rumors.
So this comes with the territory. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter what you did last year. It doesn't matter if you're shooting 40% from the 3, but obviously this could be very tasking on the psyche of a basketball player, especially a basketball player playing on arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time's basketball team. And this is my own personal theory, but it seems like this is really getting to D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell had his second best game of the year for the Los Angeles Lakers when they faced off against the Portland Trail Blazers, scoring 34 points, dishing 8 assists, and shooting 66% from the field. But the interesting part about this particular game wasn't how incredible D'Angelo Russell performed in this particular game. Rather, it was the stuff that was happening in between the game. I mean, if you take a look at D'Angelo Russell following this performance, he's not smiling with Rui Hachimura. He's quite literally crying on the bench with Rui Hachimura. It's crazy because this is not what people typically look like after going off for 34 points in a victory. And the comments on this are a mix of empathy. I mean, my main man Lade said not my man D'Lo. This comment said problem is he does this and then goes 0 for 11 for 10 games straight. Some guy even said he's just probably thinking like, man, I'm really him. They just don't be giving me that starting chance. And someone responded saying, I mean, he started 33 of 40 games this past year. And if you really think about it, if you listen to his post-game interview, then the real reason D'Angelo Russell is crying could be very obvious. Watch.
I mean, that's what we all dreamed of doing. You know, you go back to growing up, you practice moves, you try things in your backyard. Never thought you'd actually be able to get the chance to do it. Never thought I'd be able to throw a bounce pass lob to LeBron James in the game. So things like that just keeps you young, keep you enjoying the game. It's just fun.
So it seems like D'Angelo Russell has gratitude for being on the Los Angeles Lakers, and it seems like he knows that it could be the beginning of the end. I mean, at this point, there's no way a DeJounte Murray trade can happen without D'Angelo Russell. And Shams already mentioned that there is an agreement between the Atlanta Hawks and the Los Angeles Lakers, but the Atlanta Hawks don't want D'Angelo Russell to pair with Trae Young. So they're looking for another team that is willing to take on his contract, and it's not that bad of a contract either. It's $17.3 million over 2 years. And the trade that is being floated out currently is D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, Taurean Prince, Jackson Hayes, a second-round pick for Clint Capella, and DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray essentially has the same contract as D'Angelo Russell, but over a 5-year span. He's also like 6 months younger than D'Angelo Russell. So at the end of the day, I could understand why D'Angelo Russell is emotional, but the question question is, should the Lakers trade D'Angelo Russell and this huge package in order to get DeJounte Murray to begin with? Well, it seems like following this entire incident, Laker fans don't want D'Angelo Russell to go, because the Lakers posted this picture of D'Angelo Russell after his incredible game, and the entire comment section is saying, don't trade D'Lo, he's not the problem. Keep the roster and fire Darvin Ham. Y'all better not trade D'Lo or Rui. If y'all want to make a change so bad, then fire Darvin Ham. You better not trade D'Lo. I speak on behalf of real Laker fans that we will not be fans after the D'Lo or Rui trade. Fire Darvin Ham. It seems like the entire comment section is blaming Darvin Ham for the fact that the Lakers aren't successful, and it seems like D'Angelo Russell is being scapegoated. This leads us to one question. Are fans right? Is it really Darvin Ham's fault over D'Angelo Russell? Well, when the Lakers traded for D'Angelo Russell, they primarily traded for him because Russell Westbrook couldn't shoot a three to save his life. He was averaging in the late 20% from beyond the arc. So bringing him D'Angelo Russell not only made the Lakers younger, not only gave him a player that was capable of being a playmaker next to LeBron James, as you could clearly evidence from the Portland Trailblazers game, from the bounce pass alley-oop and the pocket pass that he was able to make to LeBron James, but also an individual that was a capable three-point shooter next to LeBron. The one knock people have on D'Angelo Russell is he's inconsistent and he's a little bit of a defensive liability, but not by much. Whenever you take a look at his defensive box plus minus, which is a box score estimate of defensive points per 100 possessions a player contributed above a league average player translated to an average team, D'Angelo Russell's at like a negative 0.6, which is an even better defensive box plus minus than Steph Curry this past year, who's at a negative 1.3. Now, DBPM is a flawed metric. A lot of it depends on how good your whole team is at defense. But at the end of the day, I don't really know what else the Lakers were looking for in this particular instance. Yes, DeJounte Murray is an upgrade over D'Angelo Russell. But was it worth trading all these players in order to get Clint Capella and DeJounte Murray? I'm not necessarily sure. Because at the end of the day, if you really put things in a nutshell, you get a slight improvement at the point guard position, but you sacrifice depth in order to get that. And if Darvin Ham wasn't able to make it work with things as it is, what makes you think he's going to be able to make it work once you get DeJounte Murray and Clint Capella? It's a very difficult decision to make. At the end of the day, the Lakers need to figure out who's to blame here. Is it Darvin Ham? Is it D'Angelo Russell? Is it someone else? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.